Welcome. My name is Carolyn, and this is a sweet practice to show your legs and your feet some love. Take a position that is seated and land into your breath, slowly breathing in and out through your nose. Notice how you feel in this moment. Be aware of the sensations down through your legs, into your feet and all your toes. And come to lie down on your back with your legs bent and your feet flat on the floor. Take another deep breath right here. Thread the needle, cross your right ankle over your left thigh, and interlace your hands behind your left hamstrings. Keep the length of your spine on the ground. Lengthen your tailbone down and away. Press your shoulder blades down. And connect to your steady, even flow of breath through your nose. Right away, observing your legs, in particular your right hip. Release and switch sides. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, hands clasped behind right hamstrings. Of course, if you know a slightly different variation of this pose, please feel free to take it anytime throughout the class today. Adjust how you need to or how you know to. This is your practice. Choose whatever helps you to breathe deeply. Let go of tension around your face. Gently release, so that you can now extend your right leg straight up into the air and interlace your hands behind your right hamstrings, accessing your back of your right leg. Option for your left leg to stay bent, your left foot flat, or slowly start to walk your left heel away from you until maybe your left leg lengthens down on the floor. Scissor your inner thighs towards one another. Press your top leg into your hands. Circle your top ankle slowly in one direction and then into the other direction. Without moving your leg, we're just isolating the ankle here. And we'll meet pointing the right toes. Hold here, point, point, point. Deep breath to stretch the top of your right foot. And then flex and kick your heel up, toes pull towards shin. And do that again. Point your right tippy toes up, up, up. Big breath. And go in the other direction. Kick your heel up. Big breath for that right Achilles. And then bend your right knee into your chest, hands clasped around right shin. Anchor your left leg down. Hug your right knee in. And release your right foot flat onto the floor so that your left leg can stretch up now, hands laced behind your left leg. You see how it goes. Maybe if your right leg extends down into the floor, inch your left hip away from your left armpit. Hug your inner thighs in. And now start to circle your left foot in both directions in the sky. You'll feel the cracks. You'll hear the cracks and the pops. Deep breathing. And meet me by kicking your left heel up, left toes flex towards you. Big breath. And now point your left toes up, up, up. Shoulders down. Again, kick your heel up to the ceiling as though it could press up. And point your tippy toes. And bend your left knee, hug it in. With each exhale, hug your left thigh in closer to your left abdomen. And then hug both knees in for a happy baby pose. Your hands can either clasp around your ankles or hands reach up for your outer feet. Work your knees wide open with the help of your elbows inside your knees, and then rock a little more to the left. And then shift more to the right hip and the right side for another breath. With active feet, again, shift a little more over to the left. Big breath. And then tip over to the right. Deep breath. And hug your knees in. Roll to one side and come up onto all fours so that you can set yourself up sitting on your heels. Zipper your knees together and tuck all your 10 toes under. Even use your hands to help tuck your pinky toes under. That might be a lot, so you can stand up on your knees at any point, or if you can, sit back on your heels and find eagle arms. Wrap your right elbow under your left elbow. And then lift your elbows a couple inches higher if possible. Breathe into your upper back. And now round in, work your elbows into your belly button as you look down. Do that again. Lift your chest up, lift your eagle arms up and away from your face. And round in. Just about halfway round down. And then unravel your arms, plant your hands on your mat, point your toes and smack out the tops of your feet onto the ground. Tap, 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 tap. Release that toe stretch. It's a good one. Oh, but we're going again. Tuck your 10 toes under and sit back on your heels if possible. Now eagle arms on the other side, left elbow under right elbow. Lean back into your heels. Big breath, elbows up. And then round just about halfway into yourself. And again, up through your eagle arms, forearms away from your face. And as you round in, feel your front body compressed, broaden open your upper back. Release, place your hands on the floor, and again, you can tap out your lovely feet. Tap, 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 tap. And tuck your toes under again, widen your knees for a child's pose with your toes tucked. Now, of course, if this doesn't serve you today, you can point your toes, but if possible, find that foot stretch in child's pose. Tent on your fingertips, walk your fingertops further forward, elbows lifted, and use the rooting of your fingertips down and forward to send your bum back to your heels and deepen the foot stretch. Breathe through your whole body. Another big breath into the soles of your feet. Soften the muscles around your jaw. And then make your way out of that and come to a kind of a regular child's pose in the feet. And thread your right arm under your left armpit with your right palm facing up. And you'll have your right temple on the ground. Tent your left fingertips on the mat beyond your head. Use the pressure of your left fingertips to lift your left armpit off your left cheek. every exhale, it might be a slight turn and twist further to the left as you lean back. No hurry to change sides. Lift your head so that your left arm can thread underneath you, off the mat to your right. Feel your chest turning to the right, breathing along the back line of your body, low back, upper back, receiving your attention. Make your way into a downward facing dog, but if it serves you better to remain in child's pose, absolutely find child's pose instead. If you are in down dog, a little pedaling out of your heels side to side. Feel the terrain of each palm pushing into the floor. Hug your front ribs in and up. And envision each exhale traversing down the backs of your legs. Float your right leg slowly back and up. Hips stay squared to the ground. Root your left heel further towards the earth. And place your right foot between your hands and your left knee on the floor and tent up onto your fingertips here. Perhaps blocks under your hands. And before we do much else here, do little half circles with your head, or just kind of rocking your head side to side or chin down to chest. Check in with your neck right now. Slow movements to access your neck. And now a variation of half splits where your hands walk back so that you can sit back onto your left heel. Left palm on left heel. Try to keep your left toes tucked under behind you and dig your right heel into the earth in front of you. And to deepen this further, take your left palm over your right toes and literally use your left hand on the sole of your right foot to pull your right toes back towards you. Try right leg as straight as you can. Try lengthening your spine up and over your leg. It might not be a huge fold, but you'll feel a lot in both your feet. Breathe into those spaces. And then shift up out of that, rebend your front knee, walk your hands forward, and widen your right foot, fingertips inside right foot. Chest up, just rock back and forth on the ball of your back foot a few times. And now straightening your right leg so your hips lift. Come on to just the heel of your right foot. Drive your right heel into the earth. Pull your right toes actively up towards your face. Feel power in your left quads. Left hip rotates forward. Another big breath. Really energetically pulling right heel back on the mat. And now as you flatten your right foot, your hands come inside it. Walk your hands around to the side so that you're in a wide-legged fold. Your feet parallel. And up in a flat back, bend just your left knee. And then go to the other side, bending your right knee. Mindful that your outer feet are grounded as well as your inner feet. And again, shift towards the right, bending your right knee. Extend your spine out of your hips. And again, bend your left knee. Shift over to the left. Sitting bones wide apart behind you. And bow in between your legs. Option to clasp your hands behind your low back. Work your laced hands away from your low back. And can you center the weight in your feet, maybe a little more weight to the balls of your feet without lifting your heels? This one is so good to strengthen the muscles around the ankles. Deep breathing. Upper body bowing lower down. Return your hands to the mat, and now walk your hands to the back of your mat where your left foot is. And step your left foot back into downward facing dog, facing the opposite direction on your mat, or a child's pose might feel nice. When you're ready with me, from down dog, left leg quietly floats up, hips squared. Good push into your hands. Draw your left knee in and place your left foot between your hands. Be sure your feet are hip width apart. Tap your right knee down behind you on fingertips. Chest open. Simply circle your head in half circles or just shifting right ear to right shoulder and then tipping left ear over to left shoulder a couple times. And take your pelvis up and back as your hands crawl back as well. Sit your right sitting bone back onto your right heel with your right toes still tucked under. And take your right hand across to the top of your left foot. Use your right hand to pull your left toes back. Hug your low belly in and up to your spine. Maybe find more length over and down your left leg. And when you feel tension creeping in around the jaw, just keep returning to breath and relaxing wherever possible. Crawl your hands up on either side of your left foot with your back knee off the ground. Extend your spine and rock back and forth on the ball of your back foot. Just bring some of the blood flow back into your back leg and your foot. Extend both your legs straight. A little bend in the left knee might serve you. Lift the sole of your left foot so that you're just digging your left heel into the ground. Be on the ball of your right foot behind you. Turn your left hip back, right hip forward. Have a deep breath or two here. It's a lot for the left Achilles. So good here. And then take your hands inside your left foot so that you're walking your hands around to the right. And here you are again in this wide-legged position. Bend your left knee deeply with your hands out in front, long spine. And you can stay in this higher position through the hips or squat down lower so that you're just on your right heel, right toes point up to the ceiling. Be sure right kneecap is pointing up to the ceiling. Walk your hands long in front of you, a little fold, an extension out through the sides of your waist. Working your left heel back and down, actively dragging right heel towards you. Pick your hips up and out of that and come to the other side. Start in the higher squat, bend your right knee. Have your hips as low as your right knee if you can. It's great to stay in the higher position or maybe come lower. And pop up on just your left heel, splay your left toes apart and bend your right knee. As though you could one day have your right heel flat on the floor. That's the direction here, hips back, fingers out in front. Walk your hands back in and pick your hips up. Align your feet parallel in the wide-legged position and take 1 or 2 breaths to bow in the center. And crawl your hands back up to the original front edge of your mat. And come to hands and knees, come to all fours, facing the original direction, and cat-cow your spine. So I'm taking them pretty slowly. I'm holding each one for 1 or 2 breaths, but if you want to flow through the arcing and rounding of your spine at your own pace, please do that. Let your breath guide you. Let your breath help to free you. Okay, one more round, cat-cow. From tabletop, all fours, lift just your right leg behind you and cross your right foot over to the left off your mat behind you. And now walk your right hand several inches forward, almost off the front of your mat. Look over your left shoulder, trying to see your right foot. Hunch your right shoulder forward to your right ear as you compress and tighten your left side. Stretch open the whole right side. Use your breath to make even more space along the right side. Return to hands and knees. Now lift your left leg and cross your left foot off to the right behind you. Play around with how far forward you walk your left hand. Wedge into your left hand and look your right eye over your right shoulder. Almost as though you could stretch the skin open, bigger, along the whole left side of your body with every breath. And come back to hands and knees and set yourself up one last time, sitting on your heels, 10 toes tucked under. And if that's not going to work, of course, toes can be pointed. First variation is to interlace your hands behind your low back. Lift your center chest up and stay there. Or land your fingertips on the mat several inches back beyond your feet. Bend your elbows a little. Pull your shoulder blades closer together on your back. Lift your heart. And stay there. Or lift your bum off your heels. Try to make your breastbone the highest point of the pose. And breathe up across your chest. Lower bum to heels, lift your fingertips, and come into child's pose with your toes pointed, forehead down, arms alongside your outer legs, hands by your feet. Wiggle your knees a touch closer if your elbows don't come down on the floor. Let go. Let go of the effort. You could add in a little rock of your forehead, massaging almost from temple to temple as your head shifts from left to right. Let go. And take your time to lie down on your back. Work your right knee towards your chest, left leg straight on the ground, and twist your right knee across your body. Use your left hand on your outer right thigh. Reach your right arm away. And with your upper back pressing down, inhale along the length of your spine. Exhale to twist. Untwist yourself. Bring your hips into the middle. Hug your left knee in. Take your left knee across to the opposite side in a twist. Reach your left arm away. Imprint your shoulder blades into the mat. Gaze is up or gaze over to the left. Make your inhale expansive. And as you exhale, draw navel into spine and twist. Just feel that rhythm and that flow of breath in and breath out. Return to center. Hug both knees into your chest and take your knees quite wide and wrap your forearms behind your knee pits, interlacing your fingers. Try your knees quite wide so that your knees are actually tucked into almost your elbows, your inner elbows. And use your arms to pull your thighs close into your abdomen, keeping your knees wide as your tailbone roots itself down. And extend both legs up now, arms alongside you on the floor. Keep a nice bend in your knees if your hip flexors are doing a lot of work. And for Shavasana, I'm going to recommend that we keep the legs up in some capacity. So for me, I'm putting my legs up on the couch. Length of the spine is still on the ground. If you have a wall nearby, move to the wall and put your legs straight up the wall. If there's a different way you'd like to take Shavasana, absolutely. Give your body what it needs. Give your legs and your feet what they need. Find a place of stillness. Let your lips part and let go. if you have the time to remain here, please stay where you are and rest. Our bodies need this kind of rest. If you're moving back into your day now, then maybe come up to sitting just as you began so that you can notice the difference in how you feel now compared to the start of class. Option to put one hand on your upper chest and your other hand around your low abdomen. Thank your body, thank your breath, and thank your lovely legs and your feet for all they do for you. Take a cleansing breath with me. Namaste. Be well out there. Take care of yourself out there. Hope to see you soon.